depression and anxiety Q&A. So we got 20 questions. And yeah. You want to start?
We'll read them and then we'll talk about them.
Okay. So where do you believe it first started happening? I guess like depression.
Well, actually, they both started happening probably like, when traumatic stuff happens, is when like it started for me. And that was probably like in my younger grade level, like.
For me, it was definitely like younger.
Yeah.
But it really didn't like. I think I was in like the 8th grade when I was like, I just cannot do this anymore.
Same, but it started like coming when I was younger. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. How do you cope? I cry and I sleep.
I sleep. I try to keep from crying because it makes me feel weak.
I cry, girl. I cry. Like, I do not care. I will lay in my bed and cry all night long. And I won't tell nobody. But that would be like emptying myself out and it just feels good. So, I cry all the time. Do you have a support system?
My mom. I usually tell her when I'm depressed and stuff, so I would say my mom.
I don't know. I don't have an answer to that question. Like, I mean, I guess, but certain people act like they care and then people really don't, but, you know, I don't know. Are you around understanding people? Definitely not. People.
I lost friends because they weren't understanding.
People will not understand your situation unless they're in your situation. So you can't really expect people to understand.
That's why she's still my friend.
Right.
Out of everybody else.
Does your family help?
No. No, my mom.
My siblings are like everything to me. Like, my siblings are just like my light in any situation. So definitely them. Are your friends helpful? I don't really
have friends.
Yeah. Yeah. Not really. I just really think that nobody can help you. Like, that's my opinion on it. I feel like people can help you have a better day, but people can't help you get over what you're going through in your head. So yeah. What makes you feel that way? What makes you feel depressed?
I'm always stressed, and when I'm stressed, I get depressed.
Yeah, the same.
And anxiety just goes right in between both of them.
Yeah. Anything can trigger me. Like, my anxiety is like over the roof. So like, if you do anything to make my anxiety be triggered, I get irritated and then I just be ready to cry all the time.
I'm more angry. I'm always angry at everything.
I'm a crybaby. I try my hardest not to be angry, but I can get angry. But if I get angry, there's probably no coming back from that. So I just really try, like, in a lot of situations with even people that's close to me, I'm like, try to keep calm. What makes you most anxious?
My grades. Since I'm in school, my grades, that like freaks me out, especially as my senior year. I gotta start like paying attention more to what my teacher's putting in and the fake oh my god, this teacher put in a fake absence for me. Everybody knows. Everybody that knows me knows I'm always in class before everybody else.
Definitely. She be there. As soon as the bell rings, she going straight to class. There's no stopping in the hallway.
Exactly.
I don't friends. She's go straight there.
I don't even use the bathroom. I will ask the teacher for like maybe 2 minutes into teaching, I will be like, can I go to the bathroom? I don't like, besides the point, I'm never late. But, yeah, go ahead.
For me, when people change things, like, I do not like if we make plans for this certain thing where we say that we're going to be set for this certain thing and you change it, oh my God, that just gets me in the worst way.
I'm screaming.
When it started, so I think we kind of already explained that.
I thought you were reading something over.
Do you feel as if it's getting better or worse? Well, for me, I don't really have an answer. Like, I feel like, I guess you could say better, because I have a mindset to where I feel like I'm gonna be alone, or I'm going to like be on my own, and I gotta force myself to go as far as I can by myself. You know what I mean? Like my parents or my mom, she's like always like, you know, you can do whatever you want to do or whatever the case may be, but it's still like mentally nobody's at the same, you know, spot as me, so I gotta keep going by myself. So I feel like with that mindset, I've improved. So
what was the question again?
Do you feel like it's getting better or worse?
Both.
Yeah, in between.
Yeah, I feel like school.
Stressful.
It's very stressful.
Senior years. Not all people make it to
yeah.
same.
You may feel like, oh, I'm just getting here. I'm about to get out of school.
Right.
About it's stressful. You gotta make sure you gotta stay on top of stuff. You gotta think about your future. It's so much stress, and I'm a very angry person.
Especially the future part. People pressure you when you at this point in life. It's like you gotta know what you're doing, or you gotta have this certain plan, and it's just too much. Do you feel frustrated when you're not happy, or just thinking or overthinking stuff?
I overthink a lot.
Me too.
I will sit and like it doesn't even come until I'm laying down about to go to sleep. I turn my TV off, about to go to sleep. That's when everything comes. Yes, that's when everything's running through
I
my
overthink
head.
often when I'm in class. Like, I'll sit in class and I'll just be like, the teacher will be talking to me, or even like in meetings or something, like a person will be talking to me, and I'm just like,
I'm thinking about like
this
what
is too much for me. Like, yeah. So it's just, yeah, it's definitely frustrating. Has your sleep schedule been off? Like, do you sleep a lot?
I sleep a ton. That's one of my favorite things to do. I sleep a lot.
I sleep as much as I can. Like she just said, like, I overthink when I lay down, or like when it's time for bed. So I sleep as much as I can. When I can get sleep, then I ain't waking up. Like, I stay asleep for as long as I can. When you're arguing with someone, do you say too much, like, even if you don't mean it?
Everything I say, I mean.
I definitely say things that I don't mean. If I feel like you're trying to hurt me, or if I feel like you're out for me, I'll say things to try to hurt you. Definitely. I could admit that. I do. I say the rudest things, and I always regret it, but I just, at that time, I'm like, whatever. And then I tell people all the time, I'm like, you know how I am. Because if you've, like, been cool with me for a long time, I'm like, you know how I am, and you know what you can do to trigger me and get me to that point. So, yeah. How do you manage?
How do I manage it? I don't. They do have me going to, like, I used to have a therapist and stuff.
Yeah, same.
But I didn't like it because I
really
like talking
did.
to people.
I liked having a therapist because at first it was like weird and hard to like open up and like, you know, tell people, because that's one thing I don't do. I don't tell people. I can tell people all day that like I'm depressed or my anxiety is like really, messing with me or whatever, but I can't tell people like what makes me. It's hard to explain, and then when I do explain, it's like waterfalls. But I loved having a therapist because really it feels good to be able to get all this stuff off your chest, but this person is not going to judge you. Like, you pay this person not to judge you,
I don't know, because I feel like they're going to go back and talk to their husband about me or their wife. I can't.
Well, I never like thought that deep into it because
I do. I overthink too much.
Yeah, that's a whole nother level of
That's anxiety.
Because it felt really good. Like, my therapist, she was really cool. She wasn't married, maybe that's why I didn't think like that. But she was really like, I really liked it. So if you like feel like you need to open up and you need to tell people but you don't trust them or whatever, definitely go get a therapist. Well, my opinion. Jill thinks not, so
Don't do it.
I think so.
Just drown. I'm just kidding.
Don't drown. What obstacles would they have to overcome to get through it? So what obstacles would you have to overcome to get through depression? I guess because I feel like anxiety is just here.
Right, I swear that's never gone away. Well, I don't help.
Obstacle. I just really think that I have to stop overthinking situations and not put my life in other people's hands. Like, I think that I need to not care what other people think and not care what other people has to say or their opinion. And I feel like that I also need to learn how to stand on my own, and I need to be able to be happy by myself. Like, if everybody else around me is judging me, I feel like I still need to be happy. I need to.
That's not where my depression comes from. I can't really relate 100%, but at the same time, I get what you're saying. Like, because there's a lot of judgmental people, and
Right.
But I don't know. Because I feel like everything is going to just stick. I don't think it's not going to go away. Depression is going to still be depression.
Definitely.
Anxiety is going to be still anxiety.
I feel like my therapist told me one time that you can't get rid of depression unless you want to get rid of it. And so I feel like I want to get rid of it, so I'm giving myself, the opportunity to get rid of it. And I think that's like the first step to getting rid of it. I need to like not care what other people think. And I definitely do. That is one of my big things.
I don't.
If somebody says something negative to me, my heart is like broken. Or if somebody says something rude to me, I'm sad.
That's why you want me to make YouTube videos.
I'm so sad. I was just telling her before we started this video, I was like, I'm really scared to, be big because it's like it comes with negative and people always judging. But okay. Is there certain things people say about anxiety and depression that triggers you?
Oh my gosh, acting like they have depression, it makes me very upset. Like, thinking I'm not saying nobody's problems are, what am I trying to say, bigger than anybody else. Yeah.
Yes, oh my god.
But at the same time, like, the things that people are saying that makes them depressed and stuff, I'm just like,
I feel like if somebody says that they're depressed and they have a legitimate reason to be, or they're just really just down, and you can tell when somebody's down. So I feel like you just can't tell somebody that they're not.
Right.
You just can't. Like, in the beginning, I had people tell me that I wasn't, and like stuff like that, and it didn't take time for me to be prescribed medication when I went to go get help or whatever. It's just like, I feel like you can't tell somebody. Now with anxiety, you can tell, like, when somebody has anxiety, and like in certain situations you can tell. But depression, I just feel like you cannot
say to somebody.
You can't tell somebody that they are not depressed, because you don't know what's going on in somebody's head.
But some people do use it like, for attention, and that makes me mad. Like, don't.
When people say stuff like that to me, I'm like, there is no. If I could say that I wasn't depressed, I would be doing cartwheels to say it. Like, I would be happy to not be depressed. That would be like the best day of my life when I can say that I'm not. But yeah. What do you feel? When do you feel your lowest?
I'm gonna have to say all the time, and I'm not trying to. I don't feel good about myself, and that's really hard to like admit, but I don't usually. So usually I'm feeling like really down. I might not show it. Yeah, I make people laugh and all this stuff, but that's how I hide.
Yeah, I feel my lowest at nighttime because I feel like in the daytime there's a lot of stuff that can keep you covered up and keep you from being depressed or whatever. But at nighttime it's like you by yourself.
Yeah.
Lights is off, and you thinking like no matter what, like what is around you. But I always have like times where I just have like this like once a month or so. I just have to cry. Like if I haven't cried in so long, I'm just like I have to let go of this. Like I just gotta cry.
I can't cry anymore.
I cry so much. Oh my god.
I cried a lot, and I'm just over it at the point. Like I haven't cried in maybe like.
I'm the biggest crybaby. Anything my boyfriend could tell me to shut up, and I would cry. Like it just.
That's
anything.
Different.
I just cry.
That's
like most things make me cry. Yeah, I can definitely say that. What is the worst thing about anxiety?
Worrying about everything. And if something doesn't go right,
yeah.
What else? You can't really explain exactly.
That is just. But one thing that I can say is the worst is that, like, I shake a lot, or if sometimes I like jump or something.
Like a squirrel.
Yeah, like people see that and people call that out, and so that's kind of like.
I do it all the time.
Yeah. She calls it out. Other friends call it out. My boyfriend calls it out. All the time. I shake a lot. Like, I'm always constantly, like, shaking. And if I'm not shaking, then I'm, like, bouncing my leg and stuff like that. It's definitely bad. And then sometimes I just feel like, sometimes I always feel like somebody is judging me. Like, no matter what, I feel like people are judging me. And that freaks me out. So, yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even see. Look, I didn't even know that.
Triggers of both anxiety and depression.
You already explained that.
Yeah, we pretty much explained that. How does anxiety affect you?
That's what the whole video is about, basically.
Yeah.
Just like explained all of it.
Pretty much, it's like I said. I shake constantly. Like I'm always shaking. I'm always like. But yeah,
I'm always thinking. I'm a thinker.
Thinking, yes. Oh my god, I try my hardest to stop thinking. I try my hardest to I've really been like trying like to overcome like. It's my senior year and like I have plans for myself, and so I'm just trying to tone everybody else's voices out and like not care what other people think. And
that's good this time, because that's when everybody started talking.
Yes, oh my god, and so it's a lot going on. I just feel like all people, like after I graduate, anybody that has been negative or anything in that nature, bye. Gotta go. Yeah, I'm definitely going to surround myself around people who don't judge me. And stuff like that, just so to minimize the chances, at least.
That's it.